Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about the college sports leaders in deep talks to settle name, image, and likeness antitrust case versus the NCAA. Sorry, Tate has sent me something and I don't see, I don't know what it is. And now we're going to be talking about the Cowboys agreeing to terms with Ezekiel Elliott, and we will also be talking about the Kelsey brothers as well. But I have to look and see what Tate sent me.
But I have to look.
It's just more English breakfast.
I just saw that one and I'm like, that's crazy. So I was trying to get it to you before break, but I got food on the brain right now.
Poor Tate's hungry.
But speaking of food, Ezekiel Elliott is about to get fed by the Dallas Cowboys, getting what?
That's
$3 million?
one way to put it.
Hey, when you get a $3 million check, when you was kind of worried you may not get any check, that's not a bad deal. So go ahead.
Alrighty, so all of these stories in this segment are from Yahoo Sports. So for our first one is the Cowboys agree to terms with Ezekiel Elliott. The Cowboys haven't signed Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, or Micah Parsons to an extension, but they have reached a deal with another longtime member of the team. NFL media reports that the Cowboys have agreed to terms with running back Ezekiel Elliott on a contract that will bring him back to Dallas. No terms of that agreement have been disclosed. Elliott was a 2016 first-round pick by the Cowboys, and he remained with the team through the 2022 season. He was released in March of 2023 and signed with the Patriots last August. He visited the Cowboys last week to discuss a return to Texas, and the expectation was that a deal would come together. That expectation has become a reality, and Elliott will likely slot into the top spot on the depth chart for the Cowboys as they lost Tony Pollard in free agency and have not made any other significant moves in the backfields so far this offseason. So, they're not worrying about Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons, but they got Ezekiel Elliott.
So. Once upon a time, this would be big news. Like, oh, Zeke. I find it funny that the last time Dak was up for free agency, Zeke was up for free agency. I mean, up for a contract, and Zeke jumped ahead of Dak. He went to Cabo and he was holding out until Zeke got his contract first and Dak got his second. Mm-hmm. This time, Dak wants a new contract. Zeke's available.
Does he, though? That's the question.
Yeah, that is a great question that we can talk about in a second. Zeke sneaks in and gets him a small little contract. It's only $3 million.
Only.
Yes. Am I happy about it? Yeah, it's a nice story. Happy to have Zeke back. Does it move the needle? No. Mm-hmm. Zeke's best days are behind him. If you look at the numbers, since he signed his contract, each year his numbers have gotten lower and lower each year. And he didn't do great in New England. I know that toward the end they started using him a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But I don't know I don't really know how much Zeke has left in the tank. You have Royce Freeman, you have Deuce Vaughn, and I think you still have Snoop maybe. But you're running. The big weakness for the Dallas Cowboys last year was their running game. Mm-hmm. I feel like Dallas addressed every weakness that they had last year. They lost 8 players, but they're trying to fill those lost players with players that they picked up in the draft, and I thought they did a great job on offensive line and defensive line as far as replacing players. Not saying that the results will be the same when you're losing an 8-time Pro Bowler and things like that. But they're filling those slots. But the one thing they did not, fill, everyone thought in free agent they were going to go after Derrick Henry or one of the big name running backs because they had a glaring weakness at running back last year. Mm-hmm. They didn't do it. So everyone was convinced they're going to go out and get one of the running backs in the third round or fourth round or fifth round, maybe the sixth round or something like that. They didn't do it. They didn't draft. They didn't sign a running back from free agency, and they didn't draft one. And that's concerning because the weakness of that team last year was the lack of running game. So their answer is to bring back two running backs that kind of have a lot of tread already on their tires, and Royce Freeman and Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know. I still have Dallas as the second best team in that division. I have the Commanders right behind them. So I got the Eagles 1, Cowboys 2, Commanders 3. But if you told me that the Dallas Cowboys would miss the playoffs, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. This whole all-in situation that everyone's talking about, I feel like it's the total opposite of that. It's kind of like, look over here while we do this over here, because nothing about this is all in. When you look at everything they have done, name a move that you've seen the Dallas Cowboys do this year that makes you feel like they're all in. Because that's been the topic of the Cowboys, right? Who has done absolutely nothing. I'm a huge Cowboy fan, and I'm okay with them not doing anything. For the record, I'm okay because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are making the smart move. Yes, the salary cap hit for Dak is going to be massive. $40 million this year, about 30, 35 million next year. But it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, what they've been doing in the past hasn't worked. And nothing that they've done this year makes them better. When I look at the Cowboys, my question to you is, the Detroit Lions got better, Faith. The Rams got better. I feel like the 49ers are still the 49ers. The Green Bay Packers are better. The Eagles are better. But I think the Cowboys have taken a step backwards. And if you're taking a step backwards, that means, are they a Super Bowl contender this year on their all-in year? No. No, I don't see the Cowboys as a Super Bowl contender. So bringing in Ezekiel Elliott, I feel like that's the last straw. I mean, I figure they're gonna ride this out. This is the last dance. It feels like it's the last dance for Dak. There's still talk that the Cowboys plan on signing him, but now if you sign him, you should have done it before free agency. Now waiting makes it so you have no free agents and everything else. So it feels like it's the last run with him. I feel like Dak is on his way out. This is the last year for Dak. This is last year for Zeke. They'll sign CeeDee Lamb. They're going to sign Micah Parsons, and I think they're going to move on to the Dallas Cowboys after this year of the new Dallas Cowboys without Dak Prescott. So,
well, I think somebody's mouth should have been kept shut about all in this year, because
I think he said it more, he was answering a question, but if Jerry Jones sneezes in the wrong way, that is big news. Everything they're gonna take apart what Jerry Jones says. With that being said, you've owned the Cowboys for so long, everything that you say is gonna make news. I think this is one of those times where you shouldn't have made this comment because it just keeps coming up.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to this painful subject. I need some happiness in my life.